Telleen has been creating wearable art in our community for more than 47 years. And he draws on elements from nature as well as other cultures. So I think it's no surprise then that he draws other artists who work in jewelry who draw on very similar elements. And joining me in the studio today is Telleen from Carriage Jewelry, as well as Clare Ullman. And she is going to be doing a trunk show this week at Carriage Jewelry. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
So I think it's interesting that you guys have sort of this connection with your jewelry. You draw upon these natural elements as well as other cultures. And we were talking earlier that you seem to have sort of zeroed in on Southeast Asia. And I'm very curious as to why that is.
Well, I've spent some time in India in my youth and was always drawn to the temples and the beauty and the gems, and also actually spent my honeymoon in Bali, Indonesia, and have been back so many times since then that I just fell in love with the culture, and I loved their the goldsmiths there, the workmanship of doing the granulation work. So when I started making jewelry 20 years ago, I just kind of evolved into manufacturing out of Bali. I found a wonderful Balinese man who had fantastic goldsmiths, and so I do all the designing, and then I spend about a month out of the year in Bali working with them, making sure they have every detail perfect.
Well, yesterday you showed us a beautiful necklace made out of tanzanite from Tanzania. Then you showed us some beautiful opals from Australia. And today you brought us some corals from Indonesia.
Yeah. Yes, actually one of my friends who lives on the island, his brother lives in Java, and they have this business where they actually find the molten balls which are up in the hills of Java, and they slice them open, and they're fossilized coral. They're about 200 million years old. They're called bunga agate or bunga coral. And what we do is we select what colors we want. They come in kind of oranges, cream tones. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll find some coffee tones or black tones, but they're more rare. And what's beautiful about these is that each one is individual. It's like a snowflake. If you slice it open, you'll see they look like patterns of an orange or a snowflake. And if you hold them up to the light, many of them are translucent. So they're really incredible. They're like individual works of art. And we spend a lot of time pairing them up so they're perfectly. I've seen some out there that are kind of muddy looking, but these are absolutely beautiful. And then I pair them up with some brown diamonds or some andalusite. So I've done some pendants, I'm wearing one now, or some of the earrings with the gemstones. And they're just beautiful with the kind of monochromatic tones of the beiges. So they're lovely going into, spring, summer, fall. It's just it looks great on everybody.
And so no reefs were destroyed in making.
Thank you.
Yes. Fossilized coral is very green. Yeah.
And a percentage of the sales goes to the Coral Restoration Reef out of Indonesia.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm very happy about that. Yeah, it's giving back. Yeah.
So I'm wearing a very unusual piece. I'm wearing one of your lariat styles, but tell us about this because you also have one on the display that's similar in design.
I do. I've got kind of two collections. One's the gold gemmy collection. I love working with a lot of color. And then I've got more of a casual line, which is the lariat. So I'm working with oxidized silver with a lot of chains. And then I've just started making these with these big freshwater pearls, which I love, the souffle pearls. And then some of the beads, which are the black silver, oxidized silver with different gemstones. So this one is moonstone, rainbow moonstone. The one we have on display is labradorite. So they're very unusual. Sometimes I'll put a big piece of pink tourmaline. So they're fun to wear. You can wear them a couple different ways around your neck like you wear a scarf, or you can layer them. But it's got a unique look to it because you've got two big pieces that kind of catch the eye.
Well, Claire, thank you so much. So you're here for the remainder of the week at Carriage Jewelry.
Actually, today, Sunday, is our last day. I've been here for 4 days.
Okay,
and
all right.
Today I'm really looking forward to being in the store because Dan's store is just so amazing. Having been here for so many years, he has so many amazing clients and friends, and it's just the whole community of Vail is wonderful. So.
And today's the day to come because the farmers market's going on and the store's open.
Will we see you back in Vail again soon?
I hope so, if Dan invites me back, but I hope to come back next summer.
Well,
We've had Claire's Jewelry for a year in our store, and now it's time for her to meet the public and meet our clients and collectors.
Well, thank you so much for coming out to Vail. Your jewelry is beautiful, and it's been a pleasure meeting you. And one of the things that I think is so wonderful, and I really want to commend you for, is giving back to the community. And Dan, I understand you do that as well. You've been a member of the Vail Rotary for a very long time.
Long time, lost track. But yeah, and we have a tent in the farmers market where we're selling duck adoption papers. I'm all dressed and ready to sell adoption papers today.
Well, we'll be talking to Vail Rotary later in the program as well, giving people more information on that. So Dan, Claire, thank you so much for coming in today.
And if people want to know where Carrots is located, we're right behind the adoption tent.
Okay.
They find Rotary in the farmers market.
You're just steps from Latour and across from the parking structure and just down from Solaris.
Yep, that's right.
Thank you so much for coming in. Stay tuned. We've got more Good Morning Vail coming your way.